Okay, I want to teach you a Mojitzer Nigun. I've been singing this Nigun lately. Reb Shlomo used to sing it. I think it's a really beautiful Nigun. So sing with me if you know it. And if you don't know it also, that's okay. But this is how it goes. Last time. Okay, so that was the Mojitzer Nigun, a really, really special one. And we're going to jump right into Chaverim, the Chaverot Ikarim. Let's keep on learning for the Refuah Shlema of Reb Chaim Menachem ben Leah. I just heard from his son, Tzvi Kramer, that in his words, he said to me, Chaz de Hashem, mamash shipurim nikarim me'od me'od, be'emet nisim ve'niflaot, which means that Reb Chaim is Baruch Hashem doing better, and he'll continue to do better. Today we're going to attempt to finish this piece, this very, very powerful diary entry of the Piasetzner Rebbe, which was submitted into his diary. Most probably it was after Shmini Atzeret of 1934. And to give a quick, just to remind ourselves where we were with this teaching, the Rebbe is basically, it's a very hard piece. It's a very passionate piece, but it's very hard because the Rebbe is being very vulnerable and he's sharing from Imken Ishmaso, from the depths of his heart, his confusion. He's trying to understand, aren't our tears enough, Ribono Shel Olam? Like, how could it be that there's still so much pain, there's still so much suffering? And he's trying to understand this. How could it be that Yidden are still going through so much of what they're going through? And he's wondering out loud, and he's looking to the angels, and he's saying, Malachim, who do you think you are? You really want to prosecute us? He's talking to Avram, Yitzchak, Yaakov. He's saying, where's Chus Avos? Where are you guys? And the whole time, obviously, he's saying all this in the presence of the Ribono Shel Olam. And at times it's like, the cool thing about this piece is that he's going back and forth between davening and protesting. It's very, very interesting. And it's not so clear because it's almost like you wish the Rebbe was here to look at him while he was saying what he's saying, because it's an illustration of so many very personal feelings that are happening at the same time. And we're doing our best to try to understand them. But today we're going to finish this piece where the Rebbe has his last few questions, but he ends off with a beautiful, beautiful tefillah. So if you have the Sefer, you could pull up the page now. We're on Daf Shin Nun Aleph. And we're about to, and it's Shin Nun Aleph and Shin Nun Bet today. So we're up to the paragraph, the bottom paragraph, Lama Zeh. And this is a very, very, again, we're going to have to open our hearts just a bit more to see what the Rebbe is saying beneath the surface of all these words. And we'll see where it goes, Bezrat Hashem. So you see the paragraph, it says, V'lama zeh yamei v'naharei dimot kodesh be'atzmam machrishim. The Rebbe is saying, why is it that these oceans and rivers of holy tears, why are they machrishim? Why does it seem like our tears aren't making a change in heaven? Again, a very chutzpahdik, holy chutzpahdik question. Why does it seem like our tears are not really making a change in Shamayim? Again, what era is this? This is post-World War I, where, not right after World War I, it's already 10, 15 years after World War I, but the matzav is horrible. He's saying, and he just came out of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Sukkot, Elul, Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur Sukkot, Shmini Yatzeh, Simchas Torah, and it seems that people are still suffering so much. And he's saying, how could it be that the rivers of tears have not really changed anything? Why are they still machrishim? Mi ma'amidet za'afam lidmama. Second line. Who's putting the anger? Who's silencing the tears? The last time I really felt this personally in a really strong way was when the 3 boys were kidnapped, and it actually wasn't Racheli Frankel. It was one of the other mothers that really got to my heart. It was the mother of Eyal Yifrach. Eyal Yifrach, I don't remember her first name. This very holy, tznuah, Sephardi woman, Iris, I think her name was Iris Yifrach. Iris was whatever her name was, whatever her name is, and her tears, it was like, when I saw her tears, it was like, okay, it's all going to be taken care of, obviously. There's no way in the world, right? And even though, we don't know the ways of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, Hashem also created us with a certain natural human instinct to be very sensitive to the emotions of seeing a Jewish mother cry, obviously. So the Rebbe is also saying, I don't understand who's silencing these tears. Second line, Ki yesh asher yir'ashu yamehem v'yitga'ashu naharotehem. There are those, the waves of the oceans, they're making a crazy sound. Galehem yirgazun v'nachsholehem ze'al ze yenatzchu. The waves are kind of like beating each other, they're winning each other, they're getting more and more powerful. This is the wave of tears that's happening in the world. And each wave is saying to the next, Hanicheni vet kol pig'ei Yisrael asharesh. Meaning, if they were able to speak, right? If you could listen to the wave of Jewish tears, the Rebbe is saying, what would the tears be saying? Hanicheni vet kol pig'ei Yisrael asharesh. Meaning, let go of me. Let me be as loud as I need to be, and I'll uproot all the suffering. Asharesh means to uproot. I will uproot all the suffering of every Yid. I'll put an end to all the tzaras in the world. And now he brings a fascinating Gemara. It's a little bit of Aramaic, but we'll explain it. One of the waves tells its other friend, right? Lechaverta, Another wave. Chavarti, mi shavak midi be'alma delo shetafte. Is there anything in the world that you haven't yet washed away? Meaning, is there anything left for me to do, or have you taken care of business? Denesi ana una abde. Tell me, and I'll take care of it. It's like that's how we're here for each other. Jewish suffering, the arevut. I know it's very difficult to understand, but the Rebbe is saying over here, I just don't understand. I've seen so many tears. And he's not just saying I've seen so many tears. What he's really saying without saying is, and I have shed so many tears. I have cried so many tears. And one wave of tears is here, and one wave of tears is here. Hasn't it been enough? How could it be? How could it be? Continues right after it says, Gemara Baba Basra. It calls son Eyu Pig'ei Yisrael Amalek. I will destroy. This is what if we could hear the ocean of tears, this is what the tears of Yidden are saying. They're saying all the enemies and all those that cause harm to Am Yisrael, I will wipe out. Kol even gam kol ziz asher yastin lingof et ha'ediot mi Yisrael beshorsho e'ekor. The Piasetzner Rebbe is saying that the waves are saying anything, kol even, any rock, anything that comes in the way of hurting a Yid, I will remove from its source. I'm prepared to wipe it all away and completely uproot it all. Kolos maim rabim yarishu vesufa use'ara yizafu. The sound of great oceans is making this noise, and this is the storm. Like the Rebbe is saying, I know how to listen to waves. I know how to listen to oceans. He's writing it to his diary, but he's telling you and I today, he's like, I know how to listen to the Mikva of tears. And this is what it's saying. And he's just wondering, how could it be that it hasn't yet caused this, the change that we need in the world? And what's so painful about this piece is that the Rebbe is saying this in 1933. The real river of tears hasn't even begun. He's still 5 years shy, 6 years shy of the real river of tears that's about to come out. So he continues over here, the word v'hakivyachol. We're about 7 lines from the bottom, 6 lines from the bottom. V'hakivyachol meva'et birikin ba'ezda'za'at shreisar alfei alma vegai bochi. This is a whole piece from the Zohar which begins to describe Hashem Yisbarach's crying. I'm going to read through it and then I'll explain. Sha'od yishag al naveu. Ve'achis trendimin legoyama rabba. And 2 drops of tears into the ocean coming from Hashem. Kedein isar shaluvisa mistar tzafon uvatashrucha chada bistar tzafon ve'azla v'shata be'alma. What it basically means is that the Zohar over here is describing Hashem Yisbarach's crying. And it's describing that the universe itself trembles from a drop of Hashem's tear in the ocean. Now we have a concept that we know that it says, Bechol tzara samlo tzar. Every time one of us is in pain, the Ribbono Shel Olam Kivyachol is in pain as well. Every time we cry, Hashem cries with us. So the Zohar HaKadosh, the Rebbe is quoting the Zohar HaKadosh and saying, and what an intense roaring it causes in the world when Hashem Yisbarach has a few tears that drop into the ocean. 2 tears of Hashem fall into the great ocean, the Zohar says here, and the whole world is shaking and it's on fire from the tears of Hashem. And at that moment, what happens? The second to bottom line, V'sarei umal sa'olam chalim v're'adim. The ministers of the world at that moment are aware of the fact, Hine ze yom hadin asher aleihem nitach. Day of judgment has arrived and has appeared upon us. It's come upon us. And with all this, with all the evil doing and the wickedness in particular regarding Am Yisrael, Yigiyah Zman, the Rebbe is going to say over here, Yachadim Rishatam Rish'al Yisrael. He's saying, I don't understand. There's something called Yom Hadin. How could it be that the powers of evil did not freak out Aleph from Hashem's tears, but also from our tears? Yom Hadin has come. But the Rebbe then continues and he says, Bechoshech anan ba'arafel, next page, that Bechoshech anan ba'arafel yimaku, but the enemies of Am Yisrael will be destroyed in the cloud of darkness. Top line, Ze baze nigafim. Each enemy will actually be destroying each other. Uva'aretz malchus nizgara bechaverta. And nations will be, every kingdom will be fighting each other. It's one of the greatest signs of Mashiach that kingdoms will destroy, nations will destroy each other. We won't even have to be busy doing any of this. The nations of the world will do this to each other. Veruach me'es Hashem osa mischav, and there'll be this wind will come forth from Hashem to carry them all away. Et ze yisa ad ben ha'avim ve'inakfeu hara'am. Everything will be completely washed away. Ve'et ze bish'ol tachtis yashkia ve'sham yisaref. And there'll be and those that need to fall down to the lowest place in the world will fall down and be swallowed up like Korach and be burnt. This is like the Rebbe's hope, what he's saying over here. Hope to the end of Am Yisrael's suffering. Ume'ar baharuchos baharuach ve'es kulam al galehem nisa. The four winds of the world will come and take the whole world to a new reality. V'sar mitcholel ve'galehem yizafu lisrof et kol hara birtichatam ve'lishtof et kol beshetev dimotem. And what's going to basically happen is that eventually, the Rebbe is saying, the tears are the storm that will be caused by the waves and by the tears will end up nullifying all evil in the world and will wash away everything that needs to be washed away through the power of the tears. The Rebbe is not saying we need to start crying. The Rebbe is saying the tears are all there, Chavre. The tears have been there for years. The Rebbe is not saying to Hashem, if only we knew how to cry. The Rebbe is saying, I don't understand. What the tears should be doing is not happening. And the tears have been there for many, many years. And the suffering is still there. So how could it be? But he ends off this paragraph with like a hope, and he's saying, what's gonna happen when the tears do what they're supposed to do? The kol dmama daka bilvavot Yisrael yishma. After the noise, after the commotion, after the se'ar, after the storm, kol dmama daka yishama. We have that in the liturgy of Rosh Hashanah Yom Kippur. But there's going to be a soft, silent voice in the heart of every Yid. And what is that voice saying? Tzfe l'raglo shel Mashiach. Wait, look forward for the footsteps of Mashiach. Meaning, Mashiach's here. Just wait, he's about to show up. He's about to appear. Again, Chavra, this is 1934, the Rebbe is saying these words. Very, very difficult to read this. Very hard to read this stuff. So he continues. V'lama ze yishkotu. Again, why is everyone silent? Mi ze asher ya'amid et ze'ifatam lidmama berega ha'achrona milevatzea et puletehem. The Rebbe is so confused. He's saying, who is holding the tears back from doing what they're supposed to be doing in the world? What are they supposed to be doing in the world? What we just described a second ago. To come with this storm of emotions, to cause a tumult like never before, to change over heaven and earth, and wash away in that river of tears any tsaros that's happening to Am Yisrael. The Rebbe is saying, who is preventing the tears from doing what they're supposed to be doing? Lama ze od acharei ha'se'ara V'acharei milchamot. How could it be? We're post the storm already. We're post the war. What is he talking about? You know, we don't realize it, but if one of the greatest signs of Mashiach is that nations are going to be killing each other, kingdoms are going to be killing each other, that's mamish what was happening during World War I. And the Rebbe is saying, listen, Hashem Yisbarach, there are Yidden here that hear the soft voice and are telling each other, Tzfei l'raglo shel Mashiach. The Rebbe is saying, I don't understand something. Lama ze od acharei ha'se'ara v'acharei ha'milchamot kulam el beit tanugehem shavu. How could it be that people just peacefully went back? Everyone retreated to their place peacefully. Who is he talking about over here? It seems like he's saying, I summoned the Avos to come and cry on behalf of Am Yisrael. It seems they went back to Shlofen Chevron. I summoned the angels to come, and instead of prosecuting, to come and be Melamed Zchus, they're also done with their gig as well. V'anachnu Yisrael el tzaroseinu ve'el daluseinu. Everyone went back to their peace and serenity, but us Yidden are back to our nothingness. Kulam smechim. Everyone seems to be okay now. V'anachnu boshim. Everyone is fine, but we're back to our poverty. We're back to our busha. Rubam ba'ayarot u'medinot nitashru v'anachnu be'oni ve'yagon. Most of our enemies have even become more rich and powerful since World War I. But it seems that we remain in our poverty and in our suffering. Again, this piece is so different because you can't, every sentence he's changing between a protest and a tefillah, which is really all one, because I believe that when you share your heart like this to the Ribono Shel Olam, it's not anything but bearing, revealing to yourself what your heart really, really feels. If that's not a tefillah, I don't know what is. And this is what's happening in this piece. This back and forth just doesn't stop. So the Rebbe ends off here, like the stark Breslover that we sometimes imagine him to be. And he ends off with a tefillah. A very, very powerful tefillah. Now look at this. Shem, if you can zoom in a little bit on these words. Anna. Thank you. Look at this paragraph. If you could have the image of the Piasetzner in front of you, that'd be really, be very powerful. The Piasetner Rebbe says like this: Ana shamea kol b'chayis. Please, the one who hears the krechzing, the crying, rachemna alecha kivyachol. Have compassion on yourself. Piasetzner is saying, Hashem, have compassion on yourself, so to speak. Ve'aleinu, banecha, va'avadecha, and on us, your children, your servants. Umin hitrachakutenu hechashuch, karvenu elecha, and from the place where it's so far, you seem so far, and Hashem, it's so dark here. Shh, come on, bring me closer. And it's true. Hein lo taharnu. It's true. It's already after. It's after Simchas Torah. We went through Elul Tishrei, and yeah, we probably did not purify ourselves the way that we could have. Ki rak al chata'av yitchareta ish ve'al psha'av yashuv. A person only regrets and does tshuva when what's clear to him, that that which he did wrong is clear to him and is in front of him. That's when he regrets and he does tshuva. ולפניך הטהור שגם במולכיך הטהורים תשים טהלה. And he's saying over here, before you, the purity, even in your pure angels, no one can stand completely clean. מי יוכל להתאר ומי יזכה להתקרב. Like tachlis. There's wording in Ne'ilah. It says, Ata hivdalta enosh mirosh, vatifkedeu lamod lifanecha, ki mi yomer lifanecha ma tifal, mi yitzdak. I don't remember the exact lesson over here. I just remember that because It's a beautiful Lubavitch Nusach that I love, but also the words always strike me when we come to it. But what it basically means is you want an X-ray of Malach. Even Malachim, you can X-ray them, and it's not clean enough. So yes, we're not as pure as we can be, and let's fast forward. Chodesh Iyar, Tafshin Pei, Eretz Yisrael, wherever we are. Yes, it's true. It's obviously true that there is so much tshuva we need to do. No one's going to say that we took care of that department. But the Rebbe says now a line that we should insert into our Kriya Shema Shalamita. Aval ha'im beyamei dim'otenu. But amongst the sea of our tears, the oceans of our tears, is kol atzmoseinu od lo tavalnu, uvemikve l'shadei nishmoseinu lo taharnu. It's true we didn't do the tshuva that's necessary. But haven't our tears been a sufficient mikvah? The tears that we've shed already, the tears that keep on pouring down, didn't that really purify? Didn't that take care of what needs to be taken care of? Halo kol echad, b'sha'a shenafsho elecha, b'merirus yishpoch, at that moment, God, when I'm crying out to you, when I'm pouring out my soul to you, with bitter darkness that I experience, v'libo b'simcha lifnei chvodecha yitmogeg. And at that moment when I'm before you and I realize what a privilege it is and the simcha that comes forth from such an awareness, let's think about that for a second. Et kulo lefanecha mevatel. A yid that's in that state maybe didn't do complete tshuva, but the moments where it's a real shivchi kamayim libech nochach pnei Hashem, that has to do something, no? The Rebbe is wondering. Because at that moment, et kulo lefanecha mevatel, a person completely nullifies himself. V'choshev, kol nitzotz machshava ra'a ani chovet. And at that moment, where he has the awareness of Hashem in front of him, he will try to remove any bad thought that, God forbid, can cause a mechitza between him and God. Kol aziva kala af avak shel chatzitza asher beini levin kedushas malki ugdoshi mimeni mena'er. You know Hashem Yisbarach, the Jew that still has a lot of tshuva to do, when he has those moments of standing in front of you, and he tastes what it feels like to stand in front of the king, and he gets an ounce of your love. At that moment, he pushes away everything and anything that can, God forbid, cause a chatzitza, can cause a mechitza between him and that feeling. That's true. So the Rebbe says, when that happens, hakol atam male or v'kedusha. At that moment, I'm not in the cheshbon of how much tshuva I still need to do. I'm in the presence of light and holiness. Ve'et kol atzmi ba'or hazeh hineni mashlich. I'm completely immersing myself into this light that exists in front of me. Ve'ha'im gam tfilatenu zo b'mikvos elu sotel mi ribono shleinu. Toveling in the mikvah that I just described, chas v'shalom lo alta lefi arkenu lekarvenu. Are we still not adayin lo megia lanu to come close to you? Could that be? Rabbi, I want to share with you that this tefillah is I think the only way one can daven today. I don't know how a person, especially someone living in Eretz Yisrael, can daven to Hashem, can pour out his heart without half protesting. there's that voice, there's that sound of guilt that always comes in that's somewhere triggered in our yeshiva education about what are you kvetching about? Life was so much harder for your grandfather or something like that. Of course, life is better. Materialistic life is better. Of course, without a doubt. But until all those tears are allowed to do what it's supposed to do in the world, every tefillah is escorted with some nigun of a protest, of a holy protest. And when you read these words, and the Piasetzner Rebbe is writing this 5-6 years before World War II, it's a mafchid da neshama. It has to put some kind of a fear into each and every one of us. And he ends off here, Al tzidkotecha anu betuchim. We are certain and trust your justice. It'll come. Uvi yeshuatcha, and in your salvation, anu smechim. We're happy, we rejoice. I think the word here, though, was very interesting that he said, Ubi Yeshuatcha, when you redeem yourself, Hashem Yisbarach, which means when you remove all those pieces of you that are in this, that are in each and every one of us, and you let us cry and do what we need to do in this world, then you're also this, it's Lamancha, it's you, it's Sefer HaChaim Lamancha. You, HaKadosh Baruch Hu, are redeemed. So even though I can't understand it, blind faith doesn't mean I just have to eat it all and trust that at any moment, regardless of how I respond to what's happening in the world, that's what Hashem wants it to be and everything will be good. This resonates so much, just personally speaking. A tefillah like this resonates so much with me. I've shared this before, that growing up here, when we were schlepped to the base medrash, every time a suicide bomber blew himself up in a bus, and all they told us was to say tehillim for the refuah of those that are injured, that's when I checked out completely from that mahalach of what the yeshiva was doing, because I couldn't understand how they weren't also telling us right now, let's all scream to Hashem, Ad Masai. Well, why wasn't that part of the tefillah? How could that not have been part of the tefillah as well? How could it only be this place of there's a bigger plan, At a certain point, you're going to lead to potzitz, you're going to blow up when there's no space for you to be able to also kvetch the Ribono Shalom ad matai. Ad matai, ech ze yachol liot. How could it be? How could it be? So the Rebbe gave us reshut. The Rebbe gave us incredible this space. I don't even say reshut. The Rebbe gave us a chiyuv. I feel like he's giving us an obligation. That when we see Jewish tears, it is not only about acceptance that there's a greater plan and thus exercising our emunah. It has to be that when you're in a real relationship with someone, when you're hurting, if you don't share with the person you love, with the entity that you love, how much you're hurting, they can tell. And then the relationship starts becoming more and more fake, and more shvach, and more plastic, and more shallow. So there's still way too many tears. They really are. And even if things were beautiful now and everyone was healthy in Am Yisrael, and we're post-corona, and everything is just back to normal, there's still a river of tears of the 6 million that are unanswered. And it's not just the 6 million. It's the thousands of chayalim and chayalot that Yom HaZikaron still exists. That means there's still a force that's preventing the ocean of tears to do what it's supposed to do in the world. And we need to ask why, while we thank Hashem for everything else. While we thank Hashem for the privilege of talking to him like this, we also, in the same breath, have a chiyuv to say, Avar ech ze yachol liot. How could it be? So I give us a bracha in the schus of the Piasetzner, Zecher Tzadik V'Kodesh Livracha, Nechayel Maba, to do a strong hisbodedus is to understand how to really balance these two sides of the protest and tefillah, how they can become one. And I think that once you find that, it opens the gates for this very, very, very direct line to your neshama. It's you get to know yourself in a very, very real way, and it's what you really want to do anyway. That's what you're waiting to do anyway, and it can happen. It can happen. Keref ein. Let's sing that nigun we opened up with one last time, so we remember it.